So last week we talked about the Transformer Jazzware Wicked Cool Toys Micro Machine Transformers Mystery Packs. These are these blind box little play sets that open up and feature a little play set and one little vehicle. Now, they showed up just mysteriously unannounced at a Target in California, and hopefully at some point they will be showing up in all the rest of the world for people to purchase. But we didn't have much to go on in terms of information outside of what we could see in the packaging because the individual that took the photo did not buy the product and give us an idea of what's going on. So we had to really speculate on what's going on and how the packaging is going to be and the blind pack stuff, and then based off of what the previous Micro Machine blind pack stuff was. Today we have more solid information because one individual did actually buy the product and we have a better idea of everything that's going on here. And more importantly, more than anything else, these have identification codes. So you will be able to identify and get what you want out of this. Now, there's some bad news with it too, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But it's not all completely Transformers like we predicted. Some stuff is completely not Transformers. But even worse so, some of the sets you might have to buy twice to get a Transformer character of each version. And I'll get into that in a moment. So what's happening here is you have a case of 12 different mystery pack playsets. They're these little plastic boxes that look like metal containers, and they unfold and connect together to make Micro Machine playsets. Now, each one of these blind packs come with one of two different possible vehicles. So while there's 6 different kinds of playsets in this case of 12, there also is one of 2 possible vehicles that you would have to get from each playset. So you end up getting 2 of the same playset just to get the variant vehicle. Now, this would be totally fine if the variant vehicle was a Transformer or a generic, car or something. But what they did is there actually is some playsets that you don't get any Transformer-related vehicles, and it's just 2 generic vehicles, or there's some playsets that you could either get one Transformer or the other, and that kind of sucks because then you have to buy 2. So let's get into that. At least we kind of get also to know what the cast is, and there's some interesting repaints through this. So the very first playset, which is identified as 1A, and it'll be known as 1A-01 or 1A-02 on your little identification, which will be under the packaging near the UPC code. It's a playset, and yet you either get a adventure racing truck or Cliff Jumper, which is a red repaint of the Bumblebee Camaro mold. So that's pretty cool, seeing that classic idea of Cliff Jumper being a red repaint of the Camaro Bumblebee that dates all the way back to movie 2007 toys. So that's pretty awesome. Nothing to complain about with that one because you pretty much are just gunning for that Cliff Jumper. Here's where it gets a little hairy for us. Now, playset 1B-01 or 1B-02, you either will get Optimus Prime or Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, the tank version. So what sucks about this is you have to buy this playset twice to get both of the exclusive vehicles with it. So you can end up with 2 of these playsets just to get both of the little vehicles. Now, the next playset, 2A-01 or 2A-2B, you could skip that one. It's a playset that's unique to itself, but it also has 2 vehicles that are not related to Transformer. You get a choice of either a food truck or a BMW M6. Sure, okay. See, again, they should have just put the Megatron in that one, and then you could get the food truck potentially. Next one is 2B-01 or 2B-02. We have the same problem. Unique playset, but you have a choice between Nemesis Prime, a black repaint of the Optimus Prime mold, or Sideswipe from Revenge of the Fallen. So we end up in one of these situations. You got to buy the playset twice just to get both of these characters. The next one, at least, is a little bit of a better story, and it's the one that was featured on the package here, is playset 3A-01 or 3A-02, the MMX Airlines playset, where you get either a private jet or Starscream Revenge of the Fallen Tattooed Edition. So that one's pretty easy. You could just get the Starscream and not have to worry about the rest. And the last one, completely skippable. Again, another one that has either two nondescript generic vehicles. It's 3B-01 or 3B-02, a BMW M6, or a Bugatti Veyron 2005 edition. Again, I would have preferred it if the ones that had the double up on the transform, like what they really should have done is just every set either has a transformer character or a generic vehicle. They could have split it up easily and not affected anything here, but they chose to double up with the transformers on some of them, which is kind of a dirty move, and it's going to end up with Completus having to get extras, but I guess that's just the way it's going to have to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the codes in the description of this video. So if you want to like hunt anything down, the codes will be in the description below. I'll put it in the pinned comment too, just to make it easier for people to find it if they don't find it in the description. And happy hunting. I hope you find these. And this is pretty cool otherwise, because it does show that there is quite a cast of movie Transformer Micro Machine figures. Again, just to reiterate, we also have still plenty others that are to come, whether it be the RC triplets, at least two of those members. Brawl is going to be on there. We still have Jazz we have to see, which we've seen pictures of, but we don't know how they're going to be distributed. You know, again, Bumblebee himself also, even though we know the mold's out there, we know there's a clear version, we know there's a regular version, we know there's a Revenge of the Fallen 2009 version, so there's a few of those that are going to be out there. We know that Barricade is going to be part of that gigantic Bumblebee transforming super van-like Micro Machines collection playset that turns into the Autobot HQ or Autobot Garage, as they list it as. All very cool stuff. Build a giant collection. Again, I have a little bit of a bias to this because I like playsets and I grew up on Micro Machines. And even when we had the Transformers RPMs or the Speed Stars, which were just these non-transformable 1x64 scale die casts, I loved those too. I thought those were pretty cool also. So this kind of just is a continuation of that. I just wish they kind of just spread out the Transformers with the vehicles a little better, so at least you kind of have a better chance at getting stuff. Otherwise, at least we know what we're getting. We're getting a Cliff Jumper. We're getting a Nemesis Prime, two non-movie appearance characters, but part of the toy lines otherwise if you were collecting back in the mid-2000s, so that's cool. At least it tells us that they're open to kind of doing some of the more wackier repaints. So that means you can take like something like Jazz and turn him into his movie smokescreen colors, or otherwise take that Starscream and go Seeker Jet crazy. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I dig it. Let me know what you think. Who would you like to see outside of these ones? Again, I understand we all want G1. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon. That's what Jada's going to be doing with their stuff. But who would you like to see movie character-wise outside of these, or even some repaints that I might have forgotten?